2, 1. Welcome, beautiful family. Welcome to Yelking Around, episode 26. I'm here with Deegan, and this is 2021. It's a new year, bro.
It's a new year. It's a new us, hopefully. Not really, but, hey, we're going to bring some more stuff out to you guys, and hopefully it's for a better cause.
To better some aspect of your life, hopefully, and not worsen it, or maybe even make you question some things about your life. Because that's basically what this podcast is about. It's just questioning things that are out and about, not necessarily denying anything or saying,
something out of normality, normality. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. What did you do for your New Year's, bro? Any fun things? I know you hung out with us and then you just kind of disappeared.
Yeah, so
were you safe that night?
I was
Did you
safe.
Use protection?
I was protected. I was enclosed in my
I'm
own
not talking
cocoon.
about like by the power of God. I'm talking about did you wrap your willy? Is my honest question here.
Yeah, no need for that.
No.
It was not.
No need for that. You got some sort of plastic dick that just activates and is like a self. That'd be cool though. That'd be cool, like a condom that like self activates.
It's like a little parachute that deploys.
Yeah. Like you tell your this like one of those chips that Elon Musk is trying to make, and have it so that whenever you know that you're stimulated or some sort. I guess that wouldn't work if you're trying to like masturbate though. It would just be
it's like one of those awkward situations
all
in
over
which you
yourself.
just get a hard one when you're walking down the hall in school and you're just like, wait, why? And then just deploy.
This is how we start the podcast, bro. Like, welcome guys. Like, welcome to 2021. This is it. This is joking around for you.
This is us.
This is pretty much us. Stepping away from that a little bit, you were talking about before coming here. This guy is actually late. He said he was gonna be here at 5. He is at 6:21. Well, 6. You got here right at 6, but he has a good excuse for why he attended this appointment late.
Yeah, so before I came out, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take a little seat on the the good old le douche.
Yeah, the porcelain latrine.
And I dropped one, so
you were dropping a deuce,
and I noticed that it was a little hot.
a little, dude. Did you eat any hot food or what happened?
Well,
what was making your butthole?
Yesterday, I made some bomb ass freaking chorizo beans.
Oof!
And they were the bomb.
How do you prepare them?
I just, I fried my, or should I say, I cooked the chorizo, I grilled it and all that crap, got the good old,
do you do like high heat or?
I did like a low simmer, they get a little nice even toast on them, and I'm like, then I drain that oil that releases from it, and then I refry the beans with that oil.
That same oil.
To give those beans even more flavor. And it was just.
Sounds like a heart attack. And then there's people that put lard on top of that, right? They use the chorizo, and then they use the beans, and then they put a little lard on there.
Mm-hmm.
Just a fucking artery blocker, That's our food, though. That's a lot of our cuisine, man. That's why we can be hefty.
That's where the flavors, they mash very well, but it doesn't really come out the same way when it goes in, It could be a bomb when it goes in, but at the same time, it may be a bomb once it comes out.
Yeah, yeah. You're like, oh, shit. This does not look safe for my stomach.
The delicacy that you know that you're gonna suffer at some point.
Like when you see those Gilberto's burritos, for those of you guys that don't know where or what Gilberto's is, it's just a Mexican place where it's like a fast food Mexican place basically. So you get this big ass chungus burrito that they serve you, and then you're a little tipsy, you're a little in the heat of the moment, you think you're a tough guy, and you're also very dehydrated as you just got out of the bar, and that's where pretty much everybody gets their food, and you
nice,
just
good old greasy fruit from there. It's a spot when you're drunk. I mean, honestly, now that I look at it, it's not the best food, but
no, it's one of those like we were talking, it's a bomb going in, and you're still gonna it's gonna be a bomb coming out too, and it's just there's no way to save yourself from that explosive either diarrhea or just elongated feces.
In my case, it wasn't diarrhea. It was just a good burning sensation.
Solid logs. Solid logs.
Yeah, it took me a while to get up off that.
How was your Christmas? Did you get any gifts?
Christmas, I got some gifts. The basic, good old clothes, necessities.
The chones, the underwear.
The good old stick of deodorant that your parents give.
You can never go wrong with things like that.
Yeah, you'll never say no to them because honestly, you're like, dude, I was running low like last week and they kind of, guessed it. I needed.
It's like they know you, huh? It's like they created you almost.
Why do you have freaking holes in your underwear? I'm gonna get you underwear.
Bro, you can't be having holes in your underwear. For all the gentlemen out there, if you're literally not 6, not, I would say from 12, 15, like, have good underwear. Like, don't be nasty with
good old
that
pair
whole
of underwear that
underwear.
you're just, you're trying to bin,
It's because it's breathable, bro. No, there's other ways to make underwear breathable, and holes are not.
Proper ventilation is not made by making holes.
Exactly, bro. You can just hear your underwear's like a flag in the air, when you fart because of all the holes. They just flutters.
When you take them off, they sometimes come inside out and everything when you go to wash them and then you go to fold them. You're trying to feed shit through the wrong hole. You're like, wait,
exactly, bro. That's exactly why I just laughed, because I just pictured, bro, the holes are so big. You're fucking trying to put your leg into a hole that is not even part of it. There's like no elastic going around there, bro.
It keeps it tight around that leg. It's not loose on that leg no more.
It's like your waist is the leg now, and everything else is tighter because of it. It's like I don't understand why this other leg is not well compression. You got like testicles floating on the side of it.
Well, I could see where the ventilation comes at that point.
Yeah, bro. Let me check the camera real quick. Yeah, this camera's good. Yeah, it's because yesterday we were shooting this shit and it literally just crapped on us. So
not even 2 minutes in.
Yeah, we're trying to create a dynamic with this new type of podcast, and hopefully you guys like the studio. Let's take a little bit and hopefully be quite amused by the great job that I have done. Nah, I'm just messing with y'all. But yeah, I think. What do you think, Diggin? Do you like the new setup?
Honestly, it's a lot to look at. I mean, I like it because it's not just one freaking basic blaming man's wall.
Yeah.
It's freaking has content, and then it's live.
A lot of Marvel content. For those of you guys that don't know, obviously I'm a Marvel fan, and yeah, that's a lot of memorabilia that I have hanging on the wall.
I'm familiar,
Yeah. I feel like we were saying yesterday that I feel like this wall or just the way this podcast, this room, this studio is set up is to describe a lot of who I am as a person and what I like. I like anything that has to do with streetwear, because I grew up in a city, in the urban city. So I got a wall with graffiti on it. And then obviously I love color. So just everything. And I got not posters, but calendars that I've collected over the years as well. And because I like collecting them. Shout out to Salsa Styles as well, Cassandra, for giving me this one for this year. It's a Bad Bunny calendar. I don't know if you guys can see it from there, but specially made.
One and only. It has all the Egg Boys' birthdays on there.
Yeah,
ones,
super.
Which she personalized herself. She decorated and created it on a website. And yeah, it's one of a kind. I doubt anyone's gonna find anything like it.
Yeah, no, I mean, she definitely got down, and it's definitely one of my favorite gifts from my Christmas. That's part of my Christmas too. What other things did you get? Anything
apart from that? I mean, my parents are like, you know what, we ain't gonna risk especially with what's going on. They're like, we're not gonna risk going out just to go. Go get something for you. So they.
But I mean, you have Amazon and stuff like that.
Of course, but that's my account, and they don't access that.
Whoa! What do you mean? Like they don't access that?
I mean, they just simply don't.
Have you ever bought anything weird? What's the weirdest thing you've bought on Amazon? Off the top of your head. Weird.
I buy, honestly, dude, most of my...
No judgment. Like, if you bought a dildo from someone, like, it's okay.
For someone.
Yeah, hopefully, bro. Or for you. I mean, I don't know.
No, honestly, I could Probably medication off Amazon. No, not necessarily medication. Melatonin, just to kind of, help me sleep. I think that's the weirdest thing. Other than
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
everything
yeah.
else is basic tools. Things that I use on a daily basis.
Okay.
But I mean, that's
Okay.
that's something weird for me. Getting actual like edible something supplements from.
Yeah, just the fact that there's a way to get not over the counter medicines, but they're more like vitamins. I would,
Yeah, they're gummies. I mean,
yeah. So, but just that whole thing. Well, yeah, you can get a whole bunch of amazing things off of Amazon when it comes to topicals, lotions, and I'm talking about maybe even like medication of minor things, ointments.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
yeah,
know what you mean. That's honestly the weirdest thing I think I've purchased.
yeah. How do you think Amazon? Do you think they have a department where they're, I don't know. Could you? I don't know what. Could you get like aspirin off of Amazon?
Pretty sure you can.
Really?
I'm 100% sure you can.
So this is why I make this question, because I'm like, does Amazon have somebody like a pharmacy sort of specialist to, be able to sell
I'm
the
pretty
product,
sure,
or
they got people to back up each department. They try to sell in. They got electronic guys. They got all this stuff. I'm pretty sure they work like like a Walmart store. You could guess, but it's just in a bigger sense.
okay, yeah. Okay, so it's compartmentalized. No, you know what I'm saying, right?
They're
It's in
sectionalized.
compartments.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
sectionalized.
Yeah.
Okay. It's crazy how Bezos is growing so much, bro. Like, not him physically, obviously, but just the level of wealth that he
The
has
brand.
gone because of the whole pandemic thing that has happened, right? It's mind-boggling. I was watching these YouTuber from Mexico. He does very cool, very educational types of videos and blogs. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but anyways, he lives in Canada, so he's also he has his own company, and he's a construction worker, but he's also very informed, and has a YouTube channel to help people get educated.
He's influential.
Yeah, very influential, like the type of influence that I think makes a good influencer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I wish I could remember his name, but if I find it, I'll link it or something. I'll put it on the YouTube section. But the cool thing about him is that he made this video of how wealth is really distributed, and how it's normally represented. But since they're such humongous figures, imaginary almost, it's hard to put it into concept for a human to understand it. Bezos is circulating, and rumors are circulating about him breaking the trillion, and the guy in the video explains about this whole I don't know, money hunger, or just money inequity that there is in the world, and puts it in context with bags of rice. So he has these bags of rice, and then little mounds of rice that he makes, and he puts it into scale. And I think there's another one with like gumballs, and the amount of rice on that goddamn table was just almost imaginary. It's just, I just don't get it. I was awestruck when he put it into perspective that way. Yes. And I'm just like, what the fuck, dude? Like, why is this fucking a thing? Do you okay, I'm gonna make you a serious question, right?
All right.
This podcast got really serious all of a sudden, which is what's lovely. Do you think, and I want you to, obviously, I know we're not specialists, we're not economists, we're not informed as we should.
We're not business majors.
Yeah, we're not BSAs, we're not business majors. We don't make money like that. But my question to you is, do you think there should be a cap of richness, if that makes any sense? How rich is too rich, and have it be like a 2 billion, 1 billion, even a million, or maybe even more than that. And then I'm gonna give you a thought on top of that. If there was a cap and people continued to make a surplus of money, right? Would that surplus of money be would it be cool if it got put back into the society somehow?
So distributed.
Exactly. And then sort of equalize, or at least make like a stronger middle class per se. That is a theory that I've come across thinking about this whole I don't know, this whole event of just when he put it into perspective that way with the rice, it just kind of started flickering lights in my head, you know. But what's what you think? I want to know what you think.
Well, honestly, I mean, thinking about
with
it,
your logicals.
Watch, I see Amazon as a company, right? And Bezos as well. He's a businessman. So, I mean, that wealth is distributed evenly throughout a bunch of other companies. Because not only Amazon owns that money. There's people that they are partnered with Amazon, and they own part of it, you know?
Right.
Bezos is the only owner of Amazon himself. I mean, he's a CEO and everything, you know. But there's also funders of the.
He's the face of Amazon,
exactly.
But there's other executives.
There's other side branches, you know, other companies that have invested and been part of Amazon themselves.
Since when it started. Okay,
that's how they blew up. So Amazon by itself did not grow up that fast by itself. You know, they had back support from other companies, you know, all this distribution and everything. They helped them create this name that you know of right now. So I mean, I could see Amazon just taking the credit for it, but there's other companies in the background that also deserve that credit, and I don't know if they are in that sense, you know, wealth wise. So I'm like, well, you guys are saying that or Bezos is the one responsible for that money, and he's the one to name up to that money.
Yeah,
but it's a company money. It's not his money personally. That money's for the company, not for him. That's not money he has in his pocket, essentially, you could say.
Yeah. But well, it's not even feasible. That's the crazy thing about this. It's an imaginary figure that he gets credited for, right? And I'm not saying the trillion, whatever he has in his bank account right now is probably big enough to even be an imaginary, whether it is a trillion or whether it is all his or not.
Watch, think about it. We were saying imaginary. Just okay. So it's almost impossible for him to withdraw from his personal bank.
Yes.
Won't you go to the ATM or go to the banker? Hey, I want to withdraw all my savings.
Yeah.
What is she gonna be like? Say that again? You know, like she's gonna be like, wait. You know how much you got in your account, right? Yeah, I want to withdraw. Like. You have, like, as Bezos, you know, everyone has the right to, you know, to you know, mess around with their money.
Yeah.
What are they gonna sell them? Like, dude, not even the bank, that branch or whatever. Probably not even the freaking, you know,
multiple. Not even. I don't even know.
Not even multiple branches put together could freaking cough up a couple freaking trillion. Like, who the fuck has that much money? They barely even have. I bet you. I don't even think the
Federal Reserve does. I don't even think they do. They would just have to print a whole bunch of fucking cash.
Like, here's an IOU. Go see where the fuck you can spend it.
This credit, right?
Yeah,
it's this credit thing.
And it's just all imaginary.
And I was just thinking, because there's probably viewers that are gonna be like, oh, but what about the fact that it's not just physical money, it's also assets that he might have. And I'm not sure how Forbes or those magazines that do the Bloomberg that qualify millionaires and billionaires for what they are, and what the content of the things that they have, what makes them the millionaire or the billionaire, right? And I don't know how they do it, but even if you were to put it into perspective as in physical things, assets, it's not even enough. It's just not. What we're basically trying to get across here is that is fucking mind-boggling of an amount. You know what I mean? And it's just, I don't even know. Well, you were talking about, you were saying something very interesting the other day. It's like, how could we, and like I said, we're not specialists, right? But you said something along those, and I'm gonna try to, I'm either gonna butcher it or I'm gonna rephrase you somewhat decent. I think you said, like, how can we pay ourselves that debt that we have? Well, that we have to this federal bank entity, right? That basically has the money or makes the money. But like, how could we be so much in debt but have someone that could take a big chunk out of that debt, still like be, I don't know what I don't know what you said. Like I said, do you know what I'm trying to say?
I don't, but yeah, I think where you're trying to go with this is that how are we allowed to, still live in this debt society, and yet still have people that are freaking, popping up like enormously, and just be looking at everyone else that would not have to worry about, covering for it
when they're American and they're living, and a majority of the money that they're making is coming from America too. Yes, that's exactly what I was trying to say. Sorry but yeah, like I said, I butchered it. You understood what I was trying to say, but yeah, it's just an interesting concept that you brought up, and I was just like, I don't even know how that's possible. Like I said, I'm not an economist. I'm not a specialist, so there's probably someone. Maybe one day we'll have someone that can come in and just dumbify it for us so that we can understand the general.
Yeah, it gets very complicated, just freaking, it's a big loop that, it's intertwined with web and everything, so it's freaking, it goes everywhere. And it's hard to follow.
Changing topics a little bit. Recently, the Yolking family, the Egg Boys, started. Well, I started streaming. I've invited these guys, so hopefully they can come soon and stream. I'm still trying to get the setup, so it's just like in its early stages right now. And I just wanted to get into streaming a little bit because you started building your own PC, right?
Yeah, this is my second PC that I start building.
How much was it again?
Which one, the first or the second?
Well, give us two prices and tell us a little bit about how they are different.
Well, I mean,
the first one. Let's start with the first.
My first build was pretty freaking. It was a beefy build. I mean, by beefy, I mean it was like overkill for what I wanted it for. Mm-hmm. Easily, it was made to withstand anything you threw at it, from freaking gaming, which is the lowest of low. It doesn't require much power out of your PC.
It doesn't even. Yeah.
Nothing. All it requires is for you to have a good internet, which up here it just sucks ass. But I mean, you do what you had to do.
Do you know if you can buy more? Because that's a problem that I've struggled with.
Yeah, I mean, providers here, they promise you 60 megabytes per second. They're freaking only pushing you. They're charging you 60 megabytes per second.
That's some BS.
And they are selling you that, right? But you're only receiving honestly like 26, if then.
Jeez, man.
And well, you're just, I mean, I'm not saying
that in itself is a whole thing that I don't understand. Like, why there's
the area you're in doesn't qualify for that bandwidth, but we're still charging you. I'm like, well, charge me for what you're giving me,
Yeah.
You never exceed more than 30.
I just don't understand, like, how that they have such control, of how much you receive. Or if you can, they should have tiers, right? They should try to have tiers if that's the case. Or I don't know, maybe they do. I'm trying to call my cable. That's what I'm trying to do, so that I could have not even my cable, my internet company. Cable was such a 90s, 2000s things to say, but my internet company, because I'm like, I don't understand how do I get more, if it's even possible. Are we allowed?
Yeah, so they pretty much base off the location you're at. If you're in a rural world compared to a big dense city.
Okay.
You probably have better access to better internet in bigger cities, but at the same time, it's going to cost you a good penny.
But do you get the same amount of internet? Because I feel like, yeah, you might get a bigger bandwidth of internet, but you are also very limited because there's thousands of people around you doing the same thing from the same provider.
In that sense, I'm pretty sure they have servers for days. They just invest more in bigger places for that reason. And they have systems that could, generate enough internet for everyone. In that case, it's more accessible, you could say, in the bigger city.
Yeah, I need to find out because obviously with streaming and all the gaming that I've been trying to do, yeah, you just don't have the balls to do it, for lack of a better explanation. Like whenever if you're using Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, and there's people that have great bandwidth, and I know that especially for gaming, a lot of people use a direct connection from their PC to their router. No, that's also a thing that I saw.
Yeah, it is. It's just
does that work? I mean, if there's people doing it, probably, right? Or
yeah, it's one of those things where you're like, hey, dude, what's better, stick or automatic kind of deal,
Okay.
They both rip the same, it's the same motor behind it. It's just it's controlled differently. But yeah, I mean, you could say that wired is a little faster, no delay kind of situation.
It's just like a direct connection.
Exactly.
Or do you think it's like some psychological thing that happens?
Well, honestly,
we gotta see the connection. But I know, I feel like it would be a little better, no? Because there's like a tangible thing conducting something. You know what I mean? More directly.
Correct. But like I said, it's just very minuscule of difference. You'll notice it, especially if you don't have that much. Because, I mean, what really slows you down on Wi-Fi is the number of devices connected to that router itself. Yeah. But say you have a good router, it's all good,
Can you buy good routers or whatever you have? Or what is that? Because I don't understand that either. I'm an idiot when it comes to these things. Like, because I see my router, it looks snazzy,
in my perspective. It's the one that Spectrum, the little square that they give you, out of the box type of deal.
Yeah.
Make a contract with them.
Yeah.
Those aren't the best, but they do the job.
But let's say I look on the internet on Amazon.
All right, I'll give you an example if you're going that route.
Yeah. What's a good thing or router?
I invested in one good router, a very good router.
Shit looks like a fucking drone. It's like
my
this big.
shit looks like a fucking tarantula. Not kidding you. This shit's like that big, and it has fucking like horns like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
This thing has like at least 12 antenna coming out of it.
Yeah. Get the mic closer to you or push it back more. There you go, so that you don't have to lean so much.
So honestly, this thing it's industrial. That's what I'm trying to say. This thing's meant to support up to 1,000 devices at once at full fucking capacity.
Holy fuck, dude! Why do you overkill so much, bro?
Like I said, same with the computer going back. I spent way too much on this shit. It was $400. I'm like, you know what?
I mean, that might be like something in your head, bro. Like, why does it always have to be overkill? Like, if you're gonna do it, I'm
gonna do it right.
I feel like do you think it's like
it's my
insecurity thing? Like, oh man, I just don't want people to shit on me because I get the weakest shit.
It's my America in me.
Okay.
Go big or go home.
It's your pride, your God-given American right to buy and I mean, they partake in capitalism.
I got accessibility to it, so I'm like, why not?
Yeah. God bless that.
But yes, like I said, this thing's overkill. In that sense, I do not have to worry about my Wi-Fi ever being laggy. But at the same time, it's just what I get given, service-wise.
Damn.
Yeah, but like I said, I did go overkill for sure on that one.
Do you use any sort of because I'm not familiar with making a computer. So your first one was around, I didn't even let you finish
my cost on that one was around like $2,700.
2,700.
And I assembled it myself, so that's kept it within that range.
What's the main thing about a computer that you saw? Building a computer, like what's what you really need to pay attention to and have the horsepower of the computer?
I mean, really, you got to look at the aspects.
Or is it just a whole bunch of components? Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's like a freaking shoe store. You walk in, you're like, I want some basketball shoes, right?
Yeah.
Now you got these brands, these brands, these brands, these brands. Okay, now you got these tiers of different basketball, lineups. It's like it's like a shoe store, you could say.
There's silos of things.
Exactly. There's freaking branches that go everywhere, and then on top of that, there's another brand that does the same fucking thing, but in its own
in their own thing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You could easily get.
But what are we talking about? Because
all right, for components, I mean, like I said, it's enormous.
Throw some jargon at me. GPUs.
So CPU wise, I mean, you got two major companies called Rise or AMD and freaking Nvidia, right? Or Intel. My bad. There's the two best or they're pretty much the only CPUs you could find out there.
Shit.
They're the two chipsets that pretty much that's like the freaking the heart of your.
They create the best chips, basically, is what you're trying to tell me.
they're-
What were
no,
the
no,
names
the-
of those
It's
places?
AMD and Intel.
AMD. Okay, and
They're
Intel.
They're the only two companies that really make them, honestly. And I mean, you either look at one or the other. You know, that's why you got this freaking. There's big controversy on freaking line about fanboys for one or the other, and it's just a big. It's
just like Mac and Samsung, right? But now it's like Mac against
Apple and Android.
Because there's phones that are great that aren't Mac or iPhones. Well, Mac, yeah, not Mac, but Macintosh. There you go. No, that's the name of the computer. I'm a dumbass. Is Apple. Yeah. Why don't you help me? You're just this fucker just sees me struggling, and this it's like, make a fucking fool out of yourself. He has the answer right here. I can see it in his eyes. I'm like, motherfucker, help me out. Help a brother out.
Yeah, but it's that kind of controversy, You're either the one or the other in that sense, because there's only two corporations. And why there's more isn't more. It's I don't know why, but they're just ahead of the game. So for anyone that's starting into this thing, it's gonna be a while for them to get into that.
Okay, and then and that was
just a CPU. That's
CPU. That's your CPU, right?
That's one of your most priciest components you're gonna get out of your build.
What determines a good CPU? Like, what are some things that you're looking for?
So you're looking for threads and cores. Your freaking basic, say Ryzen 3600 is gonna be around four threads at cores. Okay. And I can't really get into that. It's gonna be a whole freaking shit show.
Yeah. No. I mean, and you're also explaining it to a dumbass. So yeah, you have to be very.
Yeah, I mean, if I tell you like in a freaking graphical way, that's the only way you could see it. But hey, the more cores you have, the more processing power you have to freaking push at it. You could say that's like your horsepower,
Yeah.
Then the threads is the freaking pretty much the links from that freaking engine to your wheels. That tells you how fast you're gonna get there.
Okay.
So that's how I could put it together. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, it's like, let's see if I can think of something. Your threads are basically the actual vehicle of transportation. Whereas what was the other one?
The threads and the cores.
The cores are just like the making of, right? Such content that is gonna be yeah.
So that's kind of how I could put it. But like I said, the more of those, the more potential you have of doing it. But like I said, going back to what I'm saying, gaming does not require much. So you could go cheap, not cheap, but you could spend easily like $300 on a freaking chipset. And that's perfect enough for you for gaming. But
for a chipset that like the one that you got.
I got
how much was that?
I had
a ballsy chip.
It was 8 threads, 12 cores, I think, and it's one of the upper tiers before you get into the professional type of freaking graphical designing. But yeah, it was
movie making almost, right?
Yeah, it's freaking these things are like doubled. They're called thread rippers, and they're freaking just their price is out of the window. They're like $2,000 starting off with the basic one.
Jeez.
So for your public use,
basic one. There's tiers of these motherfuckers still.
Yeah, the thread rippers.
Jesus
that's what I'm saying. But these guys, they dedicate their freaking system to freaking just designing. And they push that freaking thing to the wall.
Yeah.
But I mean, I got one that was freaking the top tier of the the public using, like, how should I say, like, just to your general use.
Your academy version, like your entry level of upper tiers.
Exactly. I was on the top tier. I went for the Ryzen 3900X, which is, why the fuck I got it, I don't know.
Because we're Americans, remember that? I mean, that's exactly what you said.
If I'm gonna build something, I'm gonna do it right.
Yeah.
And I spent $500 on that chipset.
Oh shit.
Compared to your little $250 one that I told you about, that's more than enough.
So it sounds like you got a good price on it then, or was it is that the average price?
That's the average selling form, but nowadays it's just getting crazy. It's a little hectic with getting a good deal on stuff because there's shortages and there's people out buying stuff and then up pricing it, everything, especially nowadays.
Oh, so
it's hard. It's hard to come around good prices on good parts, and even getting the parts is hard because there's, like I said, there's shortages.
Where do you order your parts from? Amazon?
I do
or
my research. I since I built my last build, I already knew what I wanted. So looking for pieces was freaking. I just got right into it, you know. So I'm like, I started off with the case, and then just got it, you know, the externals, you know.
What platform or their websites? Is it you have to go to their website?
I was using Amazon, eBay, Egg. What is it called? I forgot. It's freaking Easter Egg. And it's just another, like, you know, PC builder website thing, and that's pretty convenient places.
Yeah.
And then some other stuff, you know. But I just started, you know, like, hey, okay, next step, buy this. And then that's when I started, hey, this website, this website, this website.
So it's just like a conglomerate of different websites that you started picking the best of the best for your
and they're reliable. They're reliable sources. So I'm like, whoever has the best price, you go there. You know,
which is kind of cool. No, it's almost the same with the setup. You know, you get to build having that having that opportunity to actually select what's going into a product is very, very cool.
That's what I'm saying. You're better off making your own PC. Say, okay, you're going to freaking college. You buy yourself a decent computer for school, right? You usually spend around $600 to $700 on a good laptop. You know, decent laptop for schooling. Now with that $700, you could easily make that laptop you got look like shit.
Really?
You can make some computer or some freaking other machine that can make your computer look like shit if you build it yourself.
Wow.
So this is what I'm saying. Like, if you put your own work into it and make your own computer, you could pretty much overcome the you know, your average laptop that's on the freaking display.
So
they're overselling their products. Like the their aspects are pretty good, but you know, comparing it to shit that you could make.
Where do you think that puts the actual computer making industry? Like big brands like Dell, do you think that worries them, the fact that the people are being able to build their own computers now and they're not having to rely? Because basically what you're saying is they used to treat us like dummies, really.
Yeah, they're like, hey,
and now it's like we're getting informed about this and we can actually build a PC now. Something that only a few people could do now. It's spreading like crazy, and now you have 12-year-olds and knowing about chips and processing power and all this stuff. So where do you think it sends them? Sends the big
honestly,
companies?
I mean, they're still in the game for freaking selling you products that they think is a reasonable price, because not everyone could put it to, like you said, not everyone has the knowledge of putting them
as of right now.
Yeah, not
because it's a generational thing, right?
But you could easily go. I mean, like, how did I start? I mean, I started looking at YouTube videos and I started doing some research, and plus, I mean, I'm a little geek for stuff that's electrical, so I mean, I just dug into it very quick and I picked it up. But like I said, it gets very complicated. If you fuck up one little thing, like on those little freaking chips that I was talking about, the CPUs, there's a not trillion, but you know, there's a bunch of little sticks on the back, little gold barbs. You fuck up one of them, they're very delicate. You fuck it, you putting it into the freaking the mount. If you freaking break one off,
because they're like little Legos almost, right?
Yeah,
like
basically.
Electronic pieces of Lego.
But they're so delicate, dude, that if you were to mess one little thing up or bend anything, there it goes. It's fried. It's done.
Do you have any guaranteed from the person giving you warranty? Yeah.
For certain things, like breaking threads off.
Really? So they know this shit.
Yeah, you could buy warranty. Like, hey, if it overheats and you know something like actual like
performance wise, like once it's performing, but not any physical.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can't, they don't back you up on that, and for the frame purpose that it's on you, you know.
Why are these products so scarce, man? Like, why are they being manufactured at a grander scale?
Well, I mean,
since they're becoming so popular, right? And maybe that, you know what I mean? Why not make it more accessible? Why do you think
accessible? I mean, well, watch. Think about it this way: Dell and all those companies, you know, the big computer making companies, they rip a deal with whatever the company they're trying to get their components from. Like, hey, give me a couple of these and give me a good price on them, and I'll keep business going with you, you know? So they make a good, decent, you know, discount for these companies.
Okay.
Now, they still upsell you on components compared to the price that they'll sell it to them, you know? So they make some money off of you instead of them.
Okay.
In that sense. And then, well, you know, the other companies, they even upsell that price, and, well, that's how you get screwed over. So I don't know if I answers your question or not, but like
a little bit, yeah.
So I mean, either way, you're gonna find a way of freaking laundering money in that sense.
Oh shit, man, that's a strong word. No, but I get what you're trying to say, and yeah, man, streaming just has been evolving, dude. It's just ever since the pandemic, whether it is a Zoom meeting, or anything, it's just like it almost feels like in the future your resume is gonna ask you like, do you know anything about computers? How to stream, how to make a video, how to clip, that'll be almost like, I'm not saying right now, but I see it maybe 20 years from now. I see it very, very plausible that anything that has to do with media, electronics, software, and the usage of it is going to become more of a resume,
Yeah. I mean, I understand that.
No more like Word and Excel, it's beyond that at that point.
No, I mean, looking at this the educational way, my little brother, they still have their little meetings on class and crap on their computers. They got computers now, freaking kids, but
yeah.
But yeah, they have their little arena group chats and everything going on. And what surprises me, they actually still use that source from school, and they freaking use it personally, like just hang out, play video games and everything. I think it's funny.
They're using
that platform.
Tools.
They're using that platform just to socialize, because they can't really be in contact outside of school.
Yeah,
and they freaking,
which is horrible. I feel so bad for kids, man. My little brother.
They're taking the best out of it, and it makes me happy, honestly, dude. Because they don't see it as a tool. They see it as an opportunity.
It is a tool, but in a different way. Yeah, like a social tool.
They're
almost.
Actually using it to its full potential, not only for school purposes, but for freaking social purposes, for just having a good time.
That's cool.
That actually makes me happy, which is.
I feel like kids, man. Kids, sometimes we discredit kids so much, in the capacity that their little brains have, it's just they just see things in a different perspective. Not only that, they're introduced to information so quick at such a young age. It's just crazy that they have access to all this stuff. And I think that sometimes we tend to treat kids as, and I don't know how to put this, but not take them as serious as they should be. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And bro, I've had some of the best conversations with my little brother. Straight up. Smart kid, listens, understands. Like I'm talking to him about XYZ topics that can be pretty intense, but that, teaching factor in me just likes to talk to him about it and treat him as if I was talking to you or an older person, and really, I really like seeing how he sees the problem in his mind and thinks about it, especially and I think it's a smart thing to do sometimes, because they're just pure, right? I at least I would like to think that. I know that a lot of people are gonna be like, no, those little devils, they're up to no good. But I still have, a lot of love and a lot faith in youth. And when I talk to my little brother, whether this is a very subjective thing or not, but I feel like he understands it, and he tries to find a way to express that and make it and convey the way he feels about big problems like that. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah, I know. Like my little brother as well. I mean, I've recently, a lot of the times, since he doesn't really hang out with us, me and my big brother, since we're in Grand Junction, and he's with my parents. The few times he sees us, he's always trying to hang out with us, have a good time with us. But he picks up on where we're doing, our gaming and stuff, our PC building. And my little brother knows.
Yeah, I mean, they look up to you.
Yeah. My little brother he knows that I'm making a PC right now. I know. I send him pictures like, hey, look what I'm making, just to tease him,
Yeah. Because he's inclined. I mean, you guys are just making renovated Ochoas. It sounds like.
So no, what surprises me,
genetically enhancing.
He goes out of his way. He goes out of his way to freaking research and learn about this. Now I'm not saying he's understanding the stuff I am right now, but he's there, dude. He's doing
research.
He's like,
is the main thing.
Every time I see him, I'm like, hey, Diego, look at this. What do you think? I'm like, why are you looking up stuff like that? I'm like, freaking like it just throws me out of like. I'm like,
it surprises you that he's like, oh, by the way, I've looked this up.
What do you think about the new ones that are coming out? I'm like, wait, he knows about these? Like, he knows that this one's better than this one's. He knows he's already there, you know? I'm
Holy
like,
shit,
he's
man.
freaking reading articles.
Yeah, bro.
I'm like, what the fuck? Not even I go that far.
Yeah.
He's opening up forums. He's sending me shit on freaking Snapchat. Like, hey, freaking.
He's giving you content, bro. Maybe I should have him in your fucking chair right now, man. Maybe I should be talking to Aiden.
He's always sending me shit on social media. I'm like,
that'd be kind of cool. Have a podcast with little kids, you know, and just like see how they.
It
what's
surprises
going
me.
on.
I'm like, dude, you got your freaking way to freaking look this up, show it to me, and like asking me for my opinion. I'm like, shouldn't I be doing that to you?
Yeah.
Doesn't that fuck you up?
Yeah, no, it fucks you up, you know. No, man, don't. It's just I'm telling you, these kids can. They're the future, at least, and we could say subjectively because there's a lot of kids that might, you know, struggle or XYZ reason. But I feel like any kid that is really in an environment where they can get those opportunities to really express, develop, that, you know, that their family is able to provide for them, you know, and they don't have to worry so much about outside factors like that, and they have like this fresh mind. It's incredible what it could be molded to.
Yeah, and you know, the only thing that stresses me out is that, you know, like my brother asked me questions like, hey, like why is that this is going on and none of that. Even you as one, you know, you barely understand it. I'd be like, how do I explain it to him in a way that he could understand it? Like, he's honestly genuinely ready to learn it.
Yeah,
but
he wants, because he cares about your opinion.
Yeah, and I'm like, I just don't know how to put it in words for you to understand it, which kind of stresses me out. I'm like, dude, if I could tell you right now, I will, but I mean, you won't just understand it the way.
Yeah.
And it kind of stresses me out because I'm like, this guy's willing to learn, but it's just the way I have it put in my mouth.
No, and it's a talent in itself. It's what I'm telling you. It's a talent in itself. People, how to convey things in a way that little kids or whoever, just anybody can understand it. That's a gift, because there's a lot of bright people that can't teach, you know.
I'm one of them, dude.
And
I suck explaining shit.
I'm the other way around. The little bit that I know, I find ways, you know, that I've always been like that, you know, find ways to convey what I'm trying to say, whether it is a metaphor or, you know, sarcastic expression or XYZ, right?
Yeah, I'm a physical guy, you know. I like to do things myself. I mean, like, for example, when like I helped you with your car, you know. You're like, dude, so what the hell did I do? I'm like, here it's everything's freaking like here. I'm like, I know how to do it.
Yeah.
You're like, but how do I do it? And, you know, you want to learn.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? Just get the fuck out of the way. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm like, let me do it right quick. This is the easiest way for me to do it, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like, not trying to say that you ain't shit, but I'm like, just saying, like, just let me do it, because that's the only way this could comprehend it.
Yeah.
I suck at explaining shit and telling you how to do it. I'm like, for me, it just clicks like that.
Would you say that it's just like a mental process that you see, like almost like a movie that you see in your head, or is it just like concepts that you just want to be like, okay, I want to apply this concept, do this mechanically, and then I want to apply this other one that followed, and then I'm gonna see if the first one worked, and then I can move to the second level per se.
I'm not saying I could see fucking straight up blueprints and like start taking it around.
No, I mean that's
no. I ain't making no fucking.
Yeah. I'm not. Yeah, you ain't fucking what's Sherlock Holmes or
hell,
you know,
no, dude. But theoretically, yeah, it's kind of like that in a sense where you like.
It's like an aspect, like a little bit.
Yeah, you know how things are gonna go. You know how they're gonna line up. You know that, hey, if this goes this way, you're gonna have to twist this way. You know, it just clicks for me like that. I don't know why. And that's
do you think that's mathematics? Like, do you think that's mathematics? Because I feel like, because when they teach you algebra, is to do what kind of thinking? Fuck, I can't remember, but it's like outside the box thinking, right? For I can't remember the word. There's a special word for it. But I'm like, I don't know if using a tool is the same way. You know, if it's maybe it is, because you have to kind of think outside the box a little bit, right? Whenever you're doing something mechanical, like. You have to like, okay, if this is rotating this way and this arm is moving this way, like there has to be something in between that's moving the other way. You know what I mean? So I don't know if there probably is a connection with mathematics and being able to like understand.
I mean, honestly, I think it's just your imagination. Like, how do you visualize
See,
stuff?
and then there's that
Yeah.
where it's like, is it your imagination where you're, well, if you have a photographic memory, let's just, are you really smart, or are you just gifted with an ability to see things and remember things very vividly? It's just, I mean, it is an intelligence. It's just a different style of intelligence, I think, but how much is that mathematical? Whoa, we're getting deep, me. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know if I'm making a lot of sense, but.
I mean, I see three aspects in this kind of, picture that we're trying to draw right here. There's a kind of guy you could say that, hey, not blueprint, but, instruction manual, that's the only way he could do it.
Okay.
That's the only way you can conceptualize it.
Yeah, he's good at reading a code.
Picture by picture, instructions, and where they out. That's the only way he's going to take it apart, and that's the only way he's going to put it together. All right? That's the only way I could see that guy going. There's the guy number two, which has to take it apart himself and then learn how it works and then put it back together and see how it does, right? That's number two guy.
The person that basically creates the product almost, no?
No, there's that. Then there's person number three.
Okay.
Which is like out of his ass. He's like, oh, that shit's like broken, He's like, it's already broken down. It's all broken in pieces. He's like, oh, this just goes here. That's the third guy. He just starts putting shit together out of the blue, out of the air.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's just three categories how I see it. There's a guy that reads the instructions and, goes off of what he's told. There's a guy that, has to do it himself, undo it to do it again.
Uh-huh.
And then there's a guy that's just freaking in the middle of the process could tell you where the fuck to go. He just understands it that well.
Tiers. Again, there's tiers of knowledge, man. Or it's just different types of intelligence, really. Just being used different. Or maybe the same intelligence being used different. I don't know. I don't want to discredit any intelligence out there, but because even being street smart is a thing.
Oh, yeah,
you can't survive in the hood, like in the world is what I mean.
But like I said, I think I'm more of a visual learner, you could say, in that sense.
You're more visual?
I'm a visual, physical learner. I have to do it.
Hands-on kind of guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess that's why, you could say.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you were in school, but yeah, I was like, hey, if you're going to tell me something, you got to do it on the board type of deal, like step by step.
Man, I got so nervous when I got put up on the board, especially in Mexico, dude. I was chunky, so I thought everybody was looking at my bubble ass, dude. Like, literally. I felt objectified. at the age of 8 or 5, dude. I would go up to the board and because in Mexico you have to use uniforms.
Yeah.
Right? And a lot of the places handmade these uniforms. So you would go and they would get you the shirt, but then the pants, they would have to like modify it, right? Yeah. I guess I had a tailor. I had a tailor at a young age. So even though, it was a broke world out there, I had a tailor. But they would finesse the whatever it was made of, the material to fit correctly, right? Well, you're developing, you're growing all the time when you're young. So, within the few weeks, your pants were like super short on you or super tight. I guess I was just getting fat at that point.
Or, it could go the opposite way. When you shrink and they don't fit you, you got to double wrap the freaking shit out of them and make them fit.
Did you ever have to hand wash? Have you ever had to hand wash shit? Like, I'm talking about, esa madre con lo que raspas la ropa. The thing that you scrape the clothes with. Like, literally. I can't think of the... lavabo, no sé qué. Es un lavabo.
Yeah. In Mexico, I remember pretty much every house had one, honestly. They had that one, I think that's outside, had the big freaking deep freaking water pit, and then next to it was a little freaking weird ass like freaking wavy rock form thing.
Shit, you went straight rural. Like you were scrubbing on rock? Is that?
Well, it's a sink. It's made for that.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it has that thing so you could
Oh yeah. It's a sink. Yeah, I used to actually. Let me tell you a story, dude. This is fucking wild. In Mexico, the houses that they would make, since they didn't have washer and dryer, that you were bougie if you had a washer. Everybody hangs their clothes outside.
Yes, even till today, my family still does that.
That's just the thing. And if you do it right, it actually the clothes last, because if you let it out in the sun, it's gonna eat the color.
Turn into tostada, man.
Yeah, it's gonna turn like a black will look like this. But anyways, yeah, we got 5 minutes now. Okay, cool. Perfect. In Mexico, the houses came with one of those washboards. Washboards, that's what they're called. And that was your washer machine. Yeah, your lavadora. That was your lavadora. That's right
your
there.
All-in-one right there. That's all your all-in-one.
Manual labor, bud. That's
no
how you get the triceps.
No instructions included. Just you and dirty house clothes you got.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I would soil myself sometimes, and I would have to like hand wash that shit on my chones because I didn't have many. So
no, you know what my parents? It's funny about that. My parents when I was little,
like man, you were broke, bro, man.
Well, this is in the United States, but my parents, every time you did yourself, they're like after you got to the point where you learn how to stop using diapers, and you still did yourself, you spoiled yourself, for other reasons.
You have that, you have the. You were playing video games.
Exactly.
You did it with me because I'm at a later age. With me, it was like I didn't want to go inside because I was playing soccer and
or with your friends.
All of a sudden, I would stop, and everybody was like, "What's wrong with you?" I gotta go inside. I can't make that goal right now. I'm gonna have to come back.
Victor, why are you acting like that?
Oh shit! I think I just soiled myself, mama.
Hey, mijo, ¿por qué no? You just look at your mom freaking all good.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Red as fuck.
What do you mean you don't know? You were freaking the one that did it. I'm like, I don't know. You're all guilty. Like, what do you say?
Did you ever get spanked?
Not really. My parents never hit me.
No. Yeah, in Mexico, it's no rules, bro. It's different rules over there.
Yeah,
Hopefully, I doubt that it has gotten better, but yeah, over there, it's very, very physical. Tough love, they call it over there. Tough love.
Yeah.
It's intense over there. I got a few whoopings that I still remember, but it's just I don't know if it was just a form of condition, really.
Well, like I said, my parents both of them were actually they're spanked and everything, hit with the cinto. They like to say
the belt, and then they got categories of belts too.
You got the
depends how angry they are. There's categories. Bring me the one that's just leather. Okay.
Give me the freaking 3 fingers.
Yeah, give me the one that has the horse on it. Oh fuck! You already
all
knew
bedazzled with
that shit was gonna get imprinted in your back, dude. Like maybe that's why I don't like tattoos, bro. I got used to it at too young of an age, bro.
You get freaking branded right here and there.
Pretty much, dude. Well, guys, I think it's been an hour. Thank you so much for tuning in with these wackos. Episode 26, season 2. Super happy to be back, man. And any wishes for 2021, bro, before we end?
Any wishes for us and for everyone, honestly. Just hang on in there. This stuff are starting to look up. Things are opening up at the same time closing down, but it's only temporary, dude.
Yeah.
I see big changes this year compared to last year. So I expect better out of this year. So I expect you guys to do as well.
Yeah. Starting with our president, even new president and everything. Or the country will just destroy itself. I still don't know. There's still a few days.
Self-destruct mode.
For me, man, I want to wish you guys, it sounds corny, it sounds cheesy, but I really do from the bottom of my heart desire that you guys have a kick-ass 2021 and keep joining us and just spread it out. Spread this podcast as much as you can. Share it with your friends if you guys think it's deemable of doing that, of getting that attraction to someone else. Follow us on our Yolks gaming channel that we will explain. I'll explain next week. And just a lot of health for you guys and your families, and spread love, obviously, not hate.
I mean, for those sick ones out there, I feel your pain. I have a lot of family members. Most of my family members have COVID right now. Not here in Colorado, but it's
it has impacted different
and
areas.
It's hitting our family pretty bad, and I know what you guys are going through.
Prayers to your family.
So prayers for those that are out there, and for anyone that may, just might need it.
I want to do a quick shout out for Janet. If she's watching this, it was her birthday yesterday, I believe. or Friday. I can't remember. We're shooting this on a Saturday, so I don't know when it'll air, but shout out to her. And with that being said, Bop. In this section that we like to call "What's Your Bop?" I'll start. I don't throughout this. I don't know, November, December. I started listening to "No Me Conoce" by Jay Cortez, and I don't know what it is. It's a workout song for me, and I just get into it and I vibe to it, and I like it. You guys can find this song on our Spotify playlist. Yes, we have one. You can find it over there in
Spotify.
Yeah, on Spotify. Yeah, just look up Yolking Around. How about you?
I got "Falling Down" by Kindred.
Falling Down by Kindred. A little EDM action.
You know me.
Would you say it's like a working out song? What kind of song is that?
I don't know. It's more of a, it's just gotta
fucking. Why are you doing this? He was
just,
literally doing this gesture just now.
It's like a grime, I don't know. It's just it's one of those things you freaking blast it in your car and you're just driving down the freaking road.
Yeah, like after a bad day of work. It's like, or maybe a good day.
I was just freaking, I was going hard for no fucking reason, you know? Like, honestly.
You got ignited.
The way I found this song, I was, my daily Discover Weekly on Spotify. I was driving to work at 5:30 in the morning.
Oh, shit.
It came on. I'm like, what the fuck?
And it just woke you up.
I turned it up. I'm like, hell yeah, it hits. And then I was down again.
Serotonin. Just fucking up the wazoo. Well, with that being said, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Our social media, I changed my Instagram to what the fuck, Ulimayo92, and then everything else is Derek Mayo 92. How about you, Diego?
You can get me on Snapchat and Instagram with Ochoa Diego 45.
Awesome. Well, with that being said, see ya next week. Stay wild.